Hey everybody, Lonesome Tom here. I'm not lonesome. Lonesome Dave. Now when I hear that name, I actually think of the guy from Foghat. He was incredible, amazing guitarist. Listen, my name's Thom Jennings. Tuning in with Tom. This will be my third of these Styx videos, which is it's like a conversation between me and this guy named the Real Music Observer about one of my favorite bands on the planet, named after a river, not in Chicago, but they were born as a group near Chicago, as the trade winds, TW4, Styx. Styx, S-T-Y-X. Yes. Mythological River. Real band. Here's a real take. Now, the Real Music Observer is very quick to note that there are YouTubers. Am I a YouTuber? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. My name is YouTuber. Talking about his particular videos. And the reason us YouTubers talk about his videos is because he never leaves the comments on. Now, I'm gonna throw something to Dave, who likes to do... He does this really well. He does this so much better than I. Like the finger thing. There were some takes that were actually okay when it came to this thing. And the issue at hand, and it took me a minute 16 to get to it. I didn't actually, I don't even think I saw him pimp any particular records or CDs or anything today. And I don't really have any. I mean, I could grab one. I don't even know what's here. Oh, Utopia. Greatest band on the planet. Utopia. I have no interest in selling that. So, Styx has added the song The Best of Times to the set list. And then Tommy Shaw, who, in case you didn't know, I mean, if you're watching this, I'm pretty sure you know who Tommy Shaw is. He gave an interview to Cleveland.com. And I've been trying to get an interview with Tommy Shaw for years. Tommy doesn't do a lot of interviews. I think he only does them with the major markets. I will say that, and I've interviewed Dennis 3 times. Yeah, Dennis is a great interview. He's an amazing guy. Tommy's like the only one I haven't interviewed. I think Glenn Burknick is the only other surviving member that I haven't. And you know what? I got nothing bad to say about any of them. Nothing. In fact, even JY, who I've interviewed 3 times, has really never said anything bad about Dennis DeYoung. Lawrence Gowan has absolutely never said anything bad about Dennis DeYoung. And Dennis DeYoung has never really said anything all that bad about Styx either. He if anything, what's interesting is Dennis is the historian of Styx. Like he's the guy that is the mental warehouse of the history of the band. I'm going to throw this out there because Real Music Observer said it. He's 100% correct. Dennis DeYoung needs to write a book. Like he is hilarious. He's snarky. He's got that great Chicago attitude. It's just everything he writes is fun. It's great to read, but it's authentic. It's got a little bit of that bite to it. Anyhow, he says, yeah, Dennis should write a book. Dennis should write a book. So Tommy Shaw talks about the best of times, and then Dennis has this fascinating Facebook retort. Now, do I think that there was a bit of snark involved in Dennis DeYoung's retort? Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. That's Dennis DeYoung. Dennis DeYoung has a great personality. He's got a big personality, and that's, I think, what people can really love about him. And there's some people who may not like that kind of humor or whatever. Tommy Shaw, young guy from the South, when he met Dennis DeYoung, this larger-than-life figure from the North, I've always believed that if there was ever a problem in terms of their personalities, there was a cultural disconnect between the guy from Chicago, which is a urban area. Now, some may retort and say, well, like JY is from Chicago and Chuck was from Chicago. Sure, they were, but, I'm saying there are some cultural differences. Now, my take on this whole Styx thing has always been, at some point, I just want, there's a song by Styx called Don't Let It End, and I wish they would take the don't off it and let it end. I think at some point, the Styx legacy, whether or not they get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, there needs to be some resolution. Now, I live near Rochester, New York, grew up there. Lou Gramm was the legend of the area, and he was in a band called Foreigner. He had a very difficult separation with them. At some point, he was able to have some resolution in that he was able to go on an anniversary tour and, sing a couple songs on stage. The Beach Boys, they did a whole tour with like everybody that was original, and then they just went back to the old lineup. Yeah, I get it. I do. I think best case scenario, I think what Dennis proposed is in some ways a détente. And I believe that both of these guys, both Tommy and Dennis, are in their own weird way communicating with each other through the press. In as much as Tommy said, I have compartmentalized Dennis DeYoung and I put him in this little box and I've thrown him away, I think that is a way of Tommy saying, you know what? That stuff in the past, I've resolved. I don't want to go back to it. I don't want to go back to that particular situation. But people get older and things change. Adding the best of times to the set list, adding Mr. Roboto to the set list, to me is in a way Tommy saying, I'm more comfortable with the legacy of the band, what we did as musicians together, Tommy and Dennis. And even though maybe they're not consciously doing it, I believe that subconsciously they are both working towards getting together on some level, whether it be a charitable performance for somebody's charity in the Chicago area, which would be pretty cool, whether it be a special, a pay-per-view special, one-off, whether it be 3 or 4 shows where Dennis shows up on stage. I mean, sadly, they missed the 50th anniversary of the band, but the anniversary of the A&M record contract and Tommy Shaw joining the band is coming up, so there's certainly things that can be recognized with Dennis and Tommy. Now, the other thing that keeps getting regurgitated is, Babe. Okay, Babe's up there. And Real Music Observer mentioned Babe, Babe being this big thing. And, well, why doesn't Styx do Babe? Now, I've talked to Lawrence Gowan about this, and I believe him 100%. He says he can't sing the song because it's too personal for a guy, the guy that wrote it. Like, Dennis wrote this song, and he's really the only guy that can sing it with any kind of authenticity. That's the reality. It doesn't matter if you're a great singer or not. Sometimes there's certain songs that are so associated with an individual, nobody else can sing them. Now, if memory serves me correctly, and it doesn't always because I'm old and the hair falls out and I look like Santa Claus, they did do it as part of a medley since Dennis has left. They didn't perform the whole song, but I believe they performed at least, the chorus or something along those lines. So I believe that the reason they don't perform it is that. I don't think that Lawrence feels that he could do the song justice, and he's correct. He can't. There's only one guy that can sing that song. That is Dennis DeYoung. There was a cover band, I think a Dutch cover band that tried to do it. No success. To me, that says that the song itself and the artist, it is the combination of those two things that make the song what it is. Okay? That's my take. I hope you like it. It's not picking sides at what it is. But I think the other thing is that everybody's still kicking around this Babe thing. Now, I believe that to some degree Tommy has told the story, but it has been a bit convoluted as to what the problem was with Babe. The problem never was with Babe. The problem was with the song First Time. Dennis mentions it in his Facebook post. That was the sticking point. And I think Dennis is unfairly targeted for that. I agree. Because what I believe was happening at the time, Babe's number one hit, record company says, hey, let's capitalize on the success of Babe and put out a song like First Time. Now, First Time is an inferior version of Babe. It's a great song. It's a fantastic ballad. Who knows? If you had put First Time out before Babe, maybe that would have been a big hit. I don't know that it would have been number one. But you put out Babe, then First Time, the band turns into what happened to Chicago during those final years with David Foster and Peter Cetera. They turn into this like ballad band. It's like, oh, all Styx does is ballads. And Dennis was the one that said that. He agreed with that. Tommy agreed with that. So the reality is what I'm saying is that they were all on the same page with that at the time. I think they just look back and go, this was the song that ruined us because it was going to back us into a particular corner. Whatever the case, at some point, there needs to be some resolution. And there will be. I believe Styx is going to wind up in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2, maybe 3 years tops. I believe that Dennis DeYoung is going to show up on stage at some point. And In as much as I know the real music deserver is Team Dennis, I don't believe that Tommy and JY and the Styx camp are bad people. I believe that they, right now, have a brand that they've established. They've got new band members. They don't necessarily need the full-blown distraction of the Dennis DeYoung thing hanging around. But if they didn't want to somehow deal with that, they wouldn't do things like add songs like Best of Times to their particular set list. But hey, Final conclusion. Here's the sad reality of the music business. Going back to my guy, Lou Gramm. You got Foreigner, no original members. You got Styx. Together, Cleveland. That place is packed. I don't know, 10, 15,000? That's insane. So I don't know where you can even say at this point that some reunion with Dennis DeYoung is really going to matter. Unfortunately, most fans just don't care. So if Dennis gets together with Styx, it should be for the people that grew up with that lineup. Those are the people they should do it for. It shouldn't be for the money. It shouldn't be for the last paycheck. It should be for all of us to kind of get together and be able to come sail away into the sunset. That's all I got. I got no political commentary at the end. I think it's ludicrous to do that, so I won't. See ya. Comment if you like. I'd love it.